Welcome to Dice, Pencil, and Paper. I am your host, Kirk, and we're going to be talking about everything related to tabletop role-playing games. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm going to be talking about designing a game system, your own RPG system, which might seem like an unnecessary thing considering all the systems that are out there, but there might be something that you were looking for in a system, and maybe the only way to scratch that itch is by designing your own system. As some of you know, I have been working on my own RPG system. It's called Perilous Ventures, and it's been an ongoing process. I've been working on it for quite a while. Concrete work on Perilous Ventures is being around probably 6 to 8 months, but before that, I had gone through many iterations of what I was looking for in a system, which in my case, it's a streamlined system. So right here I got, for those of you who can see, are seeing this on video, this is a printed copy of the playtest version that is out there. It's about 80 pages of content. And so it's pretty well advanced in terms of establishing what it is. I think this desire to bring something to the market and to have an idea of what I wanted to do with it, it's the first thing we're going to be talking about. Designing an RPG system is not an easy task. It requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of effort. It seems simple initially. You might have an idea for a mechanic. You might have an idea for a setting. And you think it's going to be very easy, but trust me on this one, you are underestimating the effort required to have a fully playable game. Make sure that if you're going to go through the effort of developing a game system, you are crystal clear of the purpose of the game. And the reason I bring that up is because when you are in the middle of working and designing a system, you might start getting your ideas confused. You might start drifting away from the original idea that you had for the game. Not in a global sense, but more in little things, in little mechanics or different aspects of the game that might drive you away from what you wanted. Probably because of external influences, social media, a game you found out about, different things. And if you don't have a crystal clear view of what you want to do with your game, what's your end goal with that game system, then yeah, it's gonna be even harder to finish that game. So I recommend you write down a couple of sentences what you want for your system. What's your end goal? In the case of Perilous Ventures, the end goal was to make a very streamlined system that you could quickly get up and running with a few friends in a matter of minutes, and that the combat system and magic systems were really, really fast and easy to learn. And at some point in my design process, I kind of drifted away from that because you're seeking balance, you're seeking completeness, but I realized that in my case, I didn't need that full completeness because my system was supposed to be streamlined. So I pared it down, and then I pared it down even further, and it helped me to have that clear view of what I wanted. So that would be the first thing I would recommend to you if you're designing your own system. The second thing I want to talk about is the actual mechanics of the system. We tend to think of things in a very human way. So we will initially, invariably, I would say probably 90% of anybody who designs a system starts with the player characters. And the player characters are usually human or humanoid. So you kind of set up things, you say, wow, these mechanics work really well. But your mechanics scale up or down properly without breaking the rules or breaking the game is a very important thing, at least in my experience. That allows you to not only have opponents that are roughly equally in terms of power, but also allows you to go further and have huge monsters or small monsters or creatures. So It's very important that you are able to scale up or down your system in a way that is consistent, that is understandable, and that you don't have to go through a bunch of hoops just to make it work. Point number 3, try to avoid math as much as possible. And I know that some people like the crunch, but I would say if you're going to be including a lot of math, put it at the prep level and not at the game level. Try to minimize that side of it, because as soon as people need to start adding dice rolls and modifiers and subtracting and adding, and it turns every turn of combat, every round of combat into this process where we basically have to get a calculator, start adding and subtracting, or thinking, oh, did I miss a modifier? Did I add this correctly? Am I using the... So my recommendation, if you're going to be designing a system, is try to keep it math light, at least in the actual game mechanics. And you can take that math and dump it, if you want really crunchy stuff, put it at the character creation level or the monster creation level. So that way, it flows better. It flows better for you. It flows better for the players. Another important point to keep in mind, and this is more subjective, is the influence of Dungeons and Dragons. Most of us got started with Dungeons and Dragons, and you won't believe the huge intellectual baggage that carries up, that it puts on you when you're trying to design something new. You intrinsically and without noticing, you try to make things sort of equal to D&D. Kind of, like for example, magic, you want to make it sort of be similar, and the classes and the races, and it's a huge package that you have to carry. You carry it without noticing, and it can be a stumbling block between you and your end goal of whatever is your end goal for your system. Don't be afraid to tear down any of these preconceptions, any of these thoughts, even if it's limitations in say the magic system or the combat system. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tear things down and put them back up, because I guarantee you that when you open up those doors, when you free yourself from D&D, your system will be much better and will be way more attractive. This is not disrespecting D&D. I love D&D. I love it to bits, but it does carry a lot of weight. Make sure to take that out of your mind. Try to have a fresh approach. Look at other games. Look at other systems. Get a book of Gamma World, of Dungeon World, or Pentola, or something, something different. Something that is totally, it doesn't need to be totally different in terms of theme, although that could also help. But something that is not D&D, because D&D is like the default, and we're going to fall upon that without noticing. So take it out, bring some new stuff, and your system will be much better. One point I wanted to make is that, kind of going back to the beginning, writing for a game is really hard. It's not that you write a lot of content. It's more that every line that you write has a lot of thought behind it. And every rule you put in has a domino effect on everything else. So be advised that it is a lot of work. It will require a lot of time from you. It will require a lot of thinking. Open your mind to other ideas, to people. Share your stuff. I've done it. There's people that I have shared ideas, information about Perilous Ventures. They have given me invaluable information. So be open to advice, be open to ideas, and be open to also to the concept that it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of work. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's exciting when you reach something that you wanted to achieve with the game, a certain mechanic, a certain system, something falls into place perfectly, and it's magical. Like the way that feeling of achievement that you get when you reach that point is fantastic. So there's a lot of effort, but as usually happens with things that require a lot of effort, the reward is very, very big. Be aware that it's not going to be a 2-week project. And I mean, unless you're writing something like a simple 1-page RPG. But if you're developing a full-blown tabletop RPG system, trust me, it's going to take more than a single night of work or a single week of work. It's going to take weeks, days, months. But even then, again, it's fantastic. I am extremely proud of holding this in my hand. And this is just a playtest edition. And I am so proud when I read it and I see everything that I've written and all the rules, and I see that they make sense and people tell me, hey, I like this, I like that. The feeling is fantastic. So I highly recommend that if you have a project, keep a clear goal, go for it, and just get that game out there. Make sure to self-promote your work. Promote it constantly. Twitter, MeWe, Facebook, YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel. Promote it, network, talk about it. Most tabletop RPG peeps are going to be fine with this. They like seeing new stuff. Do it. Talk about why. Why is your system good? What makes it different? What makes it unique? Talk about it shamelessly. You can't be shy. Change your social media. Have your banner in Twitter. Change to your system, your photo if you want to. Be relentless. Trust me, it's going to pay off. It's going to be a good thing for you to do that. So don't be shy. Go for it. All right? To those of you who are out there developing their own systems, I want to know about them. Let me know. Please hit me up. Send me a message on Twitter. My handle is at jkercado, JKERCADO. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about creating a tabletop RPG game. We have to support each other. This is a big market, but at the same time, it's kind of small. So it's good to know people are going through the same thing so we can share ideas, support each other, and just make this a way better hobby than it is right now, even though right now it's pretty awesome. So yeah, hit me up again at jkercado on Twitter. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dice, Pencil, and Paper. Podcasts are a new thing for me. Of course, I also have it on video on YouTube. So you can go to my channel called Dice, Pencil, and Paper and just look at the videos, my current videos and my old videos. Because I've been doing this for almost 2 years on YouTube. The podcast is the new part of it. So yeah, go there, hit me up, leave comments. I want to interact with you all. And let's just have fun with these games. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, keep those D20s rolling.